Welcome to today's session. This is going to be a speed and agility session, and it is designed to be incorporated into your field session. The format of this session is a warm-up, followed by a speed and agility unit, and then onto your technical skills unit. And then you can finish up the session with a cool down. So we're going to begin by demonstrating the warm-up, and today's warm-up is going to be focused on change of direction because the unit to follow is going to be focused on change of direction speed mechanics. Okay, so Jake's going to start this off with a 50% run, and you're going to use a space here of about 30 meters. When we come to change of direction stuff, you will have a setup, as we've done previously for weaving runs and for zigzag runs, spaced out at about 5 meters, 6 cones, okay? So beginning with the 50% run, just a straight run across 20 to 30 meters. When you're ready, Jake? Good. Pausing at the top and returning again at 50%. Just getting the heart rate up slowly and striding out, stretching out the legs. Good. Okay, next we're going to work across about 10 meter space, and we're going to do a side shuffle movement, nice and easy. Again, about a 50% pace here. We're still working on those good mechanics on the side shuffle. So staying nice and low. Good. Toes pointing forward, eyes ahead, off we go. Good. Across 10 meters, pausing, stay facing the same direction to lead off the opposite leg and return. Good. Okay, let's make that a little bit more complex. We're going to now do what's called a karaoke shuffle. We're going to bring a bit of rotation in and stepping across the body. Again, Jake's going to demonstrate this across 10 meters. Keeping your torso facing forward, you're just rotating through the arms and through the hips. Stay facing the same direction. You're going to repeat that movement back. If you're finding this a little bit too challenging, you can repeat that side shuffle movement. Good. Okay, Jake, I'll get you to step in here into the center. We're now going to start introducing some activation and mobilization exercises. So we're going to work on the lateral lunge here. Okay, so stepping side to side for this one, alternating on the lateral lunge. Getting that stretch through the inner thigh. Good. Stepping together and stepping to the opposite side. So getting a nice stretch here from the inner thigh and activating through that glute as you pull to standing position. Try use as much range as you can here to really stretch out through that inner thigh. So we're going to need to mobilize that to get ready for our change of direction stuff. 10 repetitions here on this. Keep a nice strong foot placement. Keep your toes pointing forward. Good. Okay, let's take it back to our side shuffle again. We're going to up the pace here a little bit. Let's take it up to about a 60 to 70% pace now. Okay, shorter, sharper movements now. Starting to get the heart rate up a little bit more. When you're ready, Jake? Good, nice strong movement. Pause it here. Let's go 70 to 80% on the way back. Good, okay, and let's start getting ready for our change of direction stuff with a weaving run. So we're going to work here across about 20 meters. As I said before, spacing the cones out at about 5 meter intervals, about 6 cones here, 7 cones, sorry, for 6 change of directions. And you're weaving on the outside of the cones here, and we're going to start with 70% pace. When you're ready, Jake? Good. On the outside of the cone, getting that plant of the foot, change direction. Good, nice and strong. Good, and pause it at the top there. We're going to return at an 80% pace. So just upping it 10% now on the way back. Same movement, off you go. Good, so getting us ready for that change of direction work we're going to do in the speed and agility unit. Perfect. Okay, Jake, I'll get you to step back up here again. Let's increase the intensity on that mobilizing and activating work. So we're going to go lateral lunge again, but now we're going to incorporate a knee raise. So a little bit more complicated here on this one. If you're finding this a bit tricky, take it back to just the lateral lunge alternating. So Jake, when you're ready, let's step into a lateral lunge and now into your knee raise. Good. Getting that single leg balance. Lateral lunge and into your knee raise. Good. Take your time with this one. Quite a tricky movement, but it does incorporate in here your lateral lunge for that stretch on the inner thigh. You'll get that activation on the lateral movement, and you'll also get that single leg stabilizing. So a lot going on here Just slow it down, try to get the movement right, and like I said, take it back to just that lateral lunge if you need to. Good, nice control, Jake. And each time look for a little bit more length in that movement to get more of a stretch. Good, and as Jake's doing there, press the back side out behind, lengthen along that stretching leg. Whatever you want to do here with the arms to help with your balance. Perfect, 10 reps there on that, and let's take it then to the core and upper body to activate and mobilize. So Jake, let's take it down into a side plank position. We're going to go side plank twist for 10 repetitions on each side here, activating through the core, through the obliques, and through the upper body, mobilizing here as well. Good, okay, so let's pick those hips up nice and high. Good, reaching down underneath, letting the torso rotate and opening up. So we're just going to, Jake, do the side plank twist here on one side. So let's take it back here to the first side. We'll stay on this side. Perfect. So reaching underneath and then opening back up again, reaching to the ceiling. Perfect, good. Okay, so that exercise there that Jake was about to demonstrate is what you will be performing in the strength and power unit of the athletic development session. This is what I want you performing on the field, just to activate through the obliques, through the core, keep that core nice and tight. And then to mobilize and open up through the chest here. So really open up, reach back, squeeze your shoulder blades together on this one as well. All the time, not letting those hips drop down to the ground. Follow with the eyes on that rotation. And 10 reps each side. So let's switch that over, Jake. So nice exercise here to activate all along that lateral side, which is going to be important when we come to that shorter, sharper change of direction, rotation stuff in the speed and agility unit. So really focus here on keeping a nice, strong lateral side, especially through that glute med muscle. So squeezing through the side glute to pick the hips up away from the ground, keeping that nice and strong. Also nice and tight through the core and the oblique on that lower side. Good. Again, opening up here, Jake. Follow with the eyes. Follow your hand with the eyes. Getting a nice strong rotation and keeping that supporting arm nice and strong as well. Watch that those hips don't drop. Perfect. Okay, let's take it back to the lower body, becoming a little bit more explosive now with your movements. We're now going to do a pogo hop movement, and we're going to do it laterally again to warm up for that change of direction movement. If you have anything here that you can use as a marker, so for instance here, Jake, we've got that line behind. Let's use that just so we can hop over this line here. So you've got that reference point. If you don't, just imagine a line on the field and you're jumping over that line. Okay, so Jake, what we're going to do here is 10 repetitions in total. You're trying to get the movement to come from your feet as much as possible. So try not to let the knees bend too much on this. So you're going to explode up through the ball of your foot, turning your toes up, and hopping side to side. And let's use this line here for that, Jake. Hopping over this line here, side to side. And let's go 10 repetitions. Good. Explode up, drive the feet up, turn the toes up towards you. Use your arms here for momentum if you'd like. Good. Okay, so 10 repetitions there. And then we'll take it to single leg movement just to challenge a little bit further. So now we're going to go a little bit wider with the movement and go to single leg. So this is the ski jump exercise. So ski jump exercise, we're going to do this with a stick movement. So you're going to catch yourself and stick on one leg and then drive to the opposite leg and stick. Okay, so Jake, let's demonstrate that. Again, 10 repetitions here, but getting that stick and hold. So this isn't explosive side to side. You're trying to get power in the movement, but you're also trying to stabilize and stick. Good. Do what Jake is doing here and catching yourself if you need to. But ease into the distance that you use. Start short and then go a little bit longer, challenge the stability a little bit more as you go along. The most important thing here is that you're catching and absorbing that force with a bent ankle, knee, and hip. Good. Okay, so we're now going to go to a single leg lateral hop movement, so challenging it even further. So again, Jake, let's use the line here for this one. And we're going to do a hop and stick again, so we're not doing that repetitive fast movement. You're going to hop and stick over the line, absorb the force, get that stick on the landing, and hop it back again. And we're just going to do 4 repetitions here on each leg. So Jake, when you're ready. Good. Catch yourself with that opposite leg if you have to, but challenge yourself to stabilize. Perfect, good. Okay, just 4 on each leg. If you find that the movement isn't very controlled, that you could do a little bit better, do a few more rounds, get that stick right, wake up those stabilizers in the lower leg. Just take your time with this one. Good. Okay, I'm going to finish up today's warm-up with a little bit shorter, sharper change of direction. So you'll be familiar with some of these exercises from the main phase of the workouts from previous phases, and now we're using them in the warm-up. So we're now going to perform the zigzag drill, which is a shorter, sharper change of direction, and we're going to do this at 90% forward, take a jog back, and then do the same backwards at 90%. Okay, so Jake, let's do that short, sharp change of direction now, planting that foot and cutting, changing direction. 90% pace. So quite a quick movement now. We're getting ready to build up to 100% pace for the main phase of the session. Good, okay? Just taking a walk back. And we're going to repeat that movement, but now backwards, which you will be familiar with from previous workouts, but now for the warm-up. So nice strong plant of that foot, looking for that cone behind you. You can get rid of those cones if they're distracting. When you're ready, Jake, 90%. Good, so you can see here, Jake's still got that nice side shuffle movement. He's got a short, sharp change of direction, repeated diagonally all the way through. Good. Okay, so that's it for the warm-up for today's session. We're now going to take it on to the speed and agility unit. This is the speed and agility unit of today's session, and this is going to be change of direction focused. So we're now encouraging 100% effort on each attempt, and you're going to take about a 1 to 2 minute break in between each set that you do. Again, the coach can use split groups here to perform these movements. Some of the drills you will be doing one at a time, so that'll allow for a nice break. But for instance, on the side shuffle movement, you can have a group here doing this. Just make sure that you take adequate breaks in between. Like the previous session, we are going to use a visual response here, so do try use that. You can incorporate the whistle, but I would encourage you to use some visual response, either with the ball, lifting it up or down, moving side to side, or hand signals up, side to side. So the first drill that we're going to work on is the side shuffle into a turn and sprint. And I'm just going to use the ball for this. And like I said, you can do this one at a time. It can take quite a bit of time to get through the full group. So what you can do is have a group of players here where Jake is positioned, one after the other, and they will all respond on the movement of the ball up or whatever signal that you're going to use. So they're going to perform the side shuffle, and then once they see that ball movement or arm signal, they're going to turn and sprint. And we're going to work across about 20 to 30 meters here. The side shuffle area, I do have a cone here just as a bit of an indicator. We're not going to respond on that. They will respond on the ball movement, but that just marks out about 5 meters here, and you don't want to be doing too much more than a 5 meter shuffle. So Jake is going to respond on the drop of the ball here to initiate the side shuffle, but at 100% pace. When he sees the ball lift, he's going to turn and sprint through to the 30-meter mark at 100% effort. Okay, Jake, you ready? In that athletic stance position. Good, and Jake's also incorporating that deceleration that you will have learned from the previous session, and now we're getting that turn, deceleration in that split stance position. So encourage that as well, and encourage right and left leg forward. Okay, Jake, we're going to do that again. I'm going to stand on the opposite side now so you can face me and lead off the opposite leg. And coaches, during your session, I'd encourage that you alternate this as well. %. Good, and take a walk back. So again, Jake was responding there on the ball movements. Use whatever signals you want, but you're getting that short, sharp reaction on the side shuffle movement to initiate it, and then on that turn and sprint as well. Again, making sure you've got adequate rest time here. We're just going to do that twice. During your field session, you can repeat that up to 4 times. Make sure you alternate right and left, or do 2 right, 2 left, and incorporate that side deceleration in as well, and try alternate that, or make sure you're balancing it out right and left as well. So continuing with the reactive work and continuing with the change of direction work, we're now going to do a Y drill exercise. So Jake is now going to respond on my arm movements. First of all, to initiate a run forward, I'm going to raise my arm up. And then what I'm going to do is either point right or left, and Jake's going to react on that and side shuffle to either the right or the left. After that, we're going to bring it into a run, but for now, Jake, let's demonstrate that first side shuffle Y drill. So arm movement up, you're going to initiate a 100% sprint towards me, and then reacting either right or left, and you're going to side shuffle. That side shuffle movement is just going to be 3 to 5 meters, nice and short. For us here, we're just going to work to the edge of the track. Okay, Jake, in that athletic stance position. Good, okay, so let's try that with the shuffle. Good, okay, so we'll come to that 45-degree run, so for now the side shuffle. Okay, so Jake in that nice athletic stance position, ready to respond. Good, excellent, okay, and let's take a walk back. For this one, during the field session, coaches, you will want to do this obviously one at a time, so you should have plenty of time for the player to get a full recovery while they're waiting for their turn to go again. Now you're going to try switch it up as well to make sure that you're getting the players to react right and left, but you also don't want them anticipating the movement, but do try get it even that they're responding right and left. So Jake, let's go again. Again, side shuffle movement. So in that nice strong athletic stance position, reacting on my arm movement. Good, excellent. Okay, and take that walk back, allow yourself to recover. We're just going to perform 2 repetitions on that. You can perform up to 4 repetitions there. But again, all dependent on the level of fitness of your players. It's all about good quality movement. So rather do 2 good quality than 4 where fatigue is starting to set in and you're not getting 100% effort, 100% reaction. We're now going to move on to the reactive Y drill where we're turning at a 45-degree angle and sprinting rather than that side shuffle movement. So Jake's going to demonstrate this again. Again, I'm going to use the same arm movements now, but now it's reacting on my arm movement and turning at 45-degree angle and sprinting. So now you can work across a wider position. So Jake, you can run off the track and use a little bit more distance, okay? So whatever distance you have on the field, you can use that. So again, Jake, working off my arm movements in that athletic stance position to get ready. Good, okay, so nice short, sharp arm movement there, making them react quickly on that, running off at a 45-degree angle. Again, taking your time on the return. We're going to do that once more. On the field session, you can do it up to 4 times, but I wouldn't do too much more than that. Again, good quality movements, good quality reactions, 100% pace. Okay, Jake, once more on that Y drill at 45-degree runoff. Good, excellent. So nice sharp reactions. If you feel like you're not getting that or if you feel like it's fading, the players have probably had enough. So it's all dependent on the fitness levels, on the work that you've done up until now. So if you need to return to any of the work we've been doing to build up to that 100% pace, you can do that before you go to this fast reactive stuff at 100% pace. That's it for today's speed and agility unit. We're now going to take it onto the technical skills unit. During your technical skills unit, small-sided games are an ideal way of conditioning cardiovascular endurance. You can still use the previously recommended 4-minute bouts with 3-minute active recovery in between, and using that 3-minute active recovery to work on technical skills. But you are now encouraged to use larger area of space and involve greater numbers in the small-sided games. If, however, you are working with the older teenager and you feel they would benefit from more cardiovascular endurance work, at the end of your technical skills unit, you can include some repeated sprint efforts. You should use about a 90 to 95% intensity, and you can work across 4 to 6 repetitions on this with about a 20-second up to 2-minute rest recovery in between. That rest and recovery will be determined by the distance that you use. We would recommend 20 to 40 meter sprints. And it will also be determined by the levels of fatigue at this stage of the session. So increase the amount of rest that you use if fatigue is starting to set in.